Okay, before I begin today's video, I first like to say this. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I really do appreciate everyone subscribing to the channel. I really do appreciate everyone viewing all my videos. Keep doing it. Keep fighting the good fight. I want to try to make this channel very successful next year. I'm going to explore other topics that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to expand my horizon when it comes to these topics. So I really do appreciate all of you guys out there, and I appreciate the support. And Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone, okay? With that being said, let's get into today's video. We're going to be talking about the trailer of the new Superman movie that's directed by James Gunn. Now, James Gunn is taking over the DC universe, and you saw a glimpse of what the potential of what James Gunn is going to be doing for the foreseeable future of DC with Creature Commandos, and also with this teaser of the new Superman movie that I believe is going to be dropping this summer. Now, a lot of people, and this was even before the teaser, everyone didn't like the direction of Superman's suit. I thought he went back to the comic book, the golden era of DC comic books to figure out Superman's suit. I like Zack Snyder's vision of Superman. I like Henry Cavill as Superman. Is Henry Cavill the best Superman that ever donned the Superman uniform? I'm a huge Christopher Reeves fan. I thought he did a fantastic job of Superman, and the other actors came before Christopher Reeve. I like the TV versions of Superman. I do feel like in this era, Henry Cavill was the best Superman. I'm not too familiar with the actor who's going to be, portraying Superman in this upcoming movie. Maybe, I'm lost in the sauce. Maybe I've seen movies of his and I just don't connect the dots with his face or his name or anything like that. But a lot of people were not a big fan of the Superman suit. I like the Superman suit. Is it, sparkly and fantastic of what Zack Snyder did with Henry Cavill's suit? That is remain to be seen. Time they put the special effects in. It's not only Superman suit, Green Lantern suit, Hawk Girl suit, the Justice League. A lot of the Justice League's characters are going to be playing a huge part in this movie. Now, there's a lot of rumors out there that the Flash may make an appearance in this new Superman movie. We don't know that to be true. As well as other cameos of other heroes. But when you talk about Superman, I like the suit. It just goes back to the glory days of DC. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, I do feel like James Gunn is, pointing the DC universe in the right direction. I feel like this is the year of DC movies. Now, Thunderbolts, that Marvel movie, and the new Captain America, Brave and the Bold, that remains to be question marks with the Marvel universe. And I feel like they're question marks for different reasons. I do feel like those two movies are going to be solid movies. I think it's going to have a great script, going to have great actors and actresses and things of that nature. But I do feel like they're taking a huge gamble and a huge chance with Captain America, Brave and the Bold. I don't understand why they didn't, well, I do understand if you follow the Avengers, all the movies, why Steve Rogers is not Captain America in Captain America, Brave and the Bold. And they put that responsibility on Captain America with Falcon, who became Captain America, and now we have a new Falcon. I understand, how it's pointing that way, but with Red Hawk, I don't know. This movie will be dropping early this year, So we'll have to figure out if this is going to be a good movie. I do feel like a lot of people are not going to watch this movie in droves because of the direction with Captain America. That's where they're going to point to with Anthony Mackie portraying Captain America. I just don't feel the buzz and the synergy with Captain America: Brave New Bold like I do with Superman. But with Superman, I do like the direction James Gunn is. He's more comic book friendly. If you're a diehard comic book fan, you're going to love the direction of this new Superman. Crypto the dog is going to make an appearance. Some believe Ultraman is going to make an appearance as well. We're going to have to wait and see how that transpires. But if you're a huge DC comic book fan, you should be familiar with a lot of these characters. And there's some characters, if you didn't read if you're not a huge fan of the DC universe, you may not know these characters. But I do feel like James Gunn picked the right characters for the Superman movie. Another thing I want to say about this is, and no disrespect to Zack Snyder, I love Zack Snyder's portrayal of the DC universe. His vision of, he was making a darker, sinister DC universe. Too bad we didn't get to see the rest of his vision. But to me, in Zack Snyder's universe, they made Superman godlike. And the only way, you can corrupt or betray Superman is trickery. Okay? They made this guy ultra intelligent. They made him ultra powerful. But he wasn't smart enough to figure out Lex Luger's ultimate plan. And I'm not going to go into all that. But I did like Zack Snyder's portrayal of the DC universe. Too bad we didn't get to see it. Seemed like to me, if you looked at the director cut, he was, leaning towards, Wonder Woman dying, Aquaman dying, Doomsday killing all of the Justice League, only leaving Batman and Superman. And, there was some moments and they corrupted Superman. I would love to see how that would have played out. Batman and the Joker working together, to take down Superman or whatever. Obviously, I would love to see how that would have transpired and played out. I didn't think Jared Leto played a good Joker. I did like Ben Affleck's version of Batman, and of course, you guys know I love Henry Cavill's portrayal of Superman. But the rest of the characters, like Wonder Woman, I think her name is Gail. I forgot her name. She played a good Wonder Woman. Aquaman as well. The Flash was a huge question mark, and when they came out with them, I just didn't think they should have led with the Flash. Even though Aquaman got his own movie, standalone movie, Superman got his own movie, Wonder Woman. I felt like they should have led with Batman having his own movie. Now, I do understand that Ben Affleck was going to direct the solo Batman movie, and it just didn't transpire. I think it was way too many hats for Ben Affleck to juggle, and he was on trying times, directing, writing, and also acting. Just way too many irons in the stove. I would have loved to see how that would have worked out and transpired. But I thought that the DC universe, Zack Snyder's DC universe, fell off a little bit because everyone was not feeling this. Well, he quit midway through the Justice League movie, and everyone wasn't feeling they had to get a new director. No one wasn't liking that movie, and plus, no one couldn't understand where Zack Snyder was leading this to. I felt like if Ben Affleck was able to make that Batman movie, it would have extended the Justice League movie and put the Flash movie on the back burner, or put the Blue Beetle on the back burner. And if you can clearly tell Zack Snyder and the DC Comics and HBO, they were not on the same page. I just think they just hired Zack Snyder and they just let him do his magic. There was a lot of things that Zack Snyder did, but there was a lot of things that they couldn't co-sign what Zack Snyder was leaning towards. They didn't want a darker DC universe. They couldn't see that unfolding. And look, there's some diehard comic book fans that did not like the direction Zack Snyder was leading towards with Superman and all the decisions that they did. But that's neither here nor there. That's another video for another time. But if you look at what James Gunn is doing, it seems like it's more of a comic book friendly type of movie. Superman, it's hard to direct a Superman movie. I've seen, and when I say this, a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but just hear me out. It's very hard. I hear a lot of people say, why they haven't made a Superman video game? And I tell them the reason why you can't make a Superman game, because Superman is so all powerful. Okay, he's OP, all powerful, and you have to follow the line. Can't lean one way or the other when you're doing a Superman movie. Even though it was like a 2-minute clip, maybe a minute clip, you see some actual action, you can tell that Superman he's going to the basics of what Superman's going to be doing. He's going to be saving people. He's a good doer. Superman is not Batman. Batman, is different from everyone in the DC universe. If you understand the bio of Batman, you understand why Bruce Wayne became Batman. And the same that goes with Wonder Woman, the Green Lantern, the Flash. You understand the creation of these heroes. With Superman, there's really not a detailed story. He was an alien who came from Krypton. His parents sent him to Earth. I'm not saying it's not a good backstory, but what I am saying is he didn't have to go through a lot to become Superman. As if you read DC comic books or even watched the movies, but if you read the DC comic books, it took Wonder Woman. It took a huge uphill climb for Diana Prince to become Wonder Woman, or Aquaman, or the Flash, or Batman, where you can appreciate the backstories of these heroes. Like, you understand why they became the person that they ultimately become. With Superman, it's a very simple backstory. His parents shipped Superman off because Krypton was dying. He came to Earth and he adapted a lot of the Earth qualities. Luckily, Superman in Kansas, went in a farm field. The Kent luckily happened to be on the road, and there was Superman. The rocket came crashing or on their farmland or whatever. And Clark Kent, Superman, Kal-El had to learn how to be a human first before he learned how to become Superman. And it was like he chose a lot of those things. And you don't appreciate the story. And that's why I say it's very hard. It's a slippery slope when you're trying to make a solo Superman movie, okay? Because everyone wants to see the growing pains of Clark ultimately becoming Superman. Clark chose to be Superman. It wasn't that difficult. It wasn't that much of an uphill climb. He just became Superman. He was born with these powers. The rest of the heroes are different. But it's hard to make a story behind all that. And I understand what James Gunn is doing. Let me put a lot of characters, DC comic book characters, around Superman to make this so you can appreciate Superman, but also you have other stories you can appreciate more by watching Superman's movie. And I thought what James Gunn is doing, I think that's a great idea if you want to introduce Superman to the world. And and two, Superman's story, and it's not like Superman's story is this cleverly designed, written story. Okay, so I do see. I'm very impressed with the Superman movie. I'm very impressed of the characters that are going to be introduced to Superman. Lex Luger is going to be in this movie, and I felt like Zack Snyder didn't introduce Lex Luger a lot sooner in the Superman world. I thought that was a huge gamble. That even though he introduced him in Batman v Superman, and you saw the time frame of all this. I think Zack Snyder. Let me take this back. I believe the story, the back and forth between Lex Luger and Superman, is a great story. It's a great story. It's a bromance. The same could be said with Batman and the Joker, Lex Luger and Superman. Those are great stories. And when Zack Snyder made Justice League and Batman v Superman and the Superman solo movies, he didn't really utilize the material that's in that story. And that's probably because we've been there and done that with Superman and Lex Luger. Lois and Clark Superman, that was on CW, that was a great series. Okay? They introduced Superman against Lex Luger. I felt those moments. I revisit those moments. Even though they've been there and done that, you can't have a Superman movie without Lex Luger. Okay? It just can't be done. All right? So, James Gunn introducing Lex Luger and Superman, and it's basically Superman is already on the planet. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a simple, maybe, I feel like 20 minutes of the movie, they're going to have an origin of Superman, but they're not going to linger on that much. Superman is already here, saving the world and saving people. He's not a mystery. I think that's a great way to introduce Superman to the fray instead of revisiting that story of him spending like the majority of the movie explaining to people what makes Superman Superman. Okay, and like I said earlier in this video, the origin of Superman is the story of Superman. The origin story of Superman is not something memorable that you want to revisit over and over and over again, like you do with the Batman. There's a reason why Bruce Wayne became Batman. His parents died right in front of him as a child, and that traumatized him. And he wants to, and that was the makings of Batman, facing his fears and things of that nature. And the same can be said about the other characters. I feel like the Batman story is more memorable and something that you wouldn't mind revisiting the story over and over and over again. So that's what's going on. I don't know if Robert Pattinson's Batman. Now, there's talk that Robert Pattinson's Batman universe is going to be on par with Superman's universe with this new Superman version. But I also heard that they're going to relaunch a whole new Batman, the Brave and the Bold, and they're going to get a new actor to play Batman. And Robert Pattinson's Batman is in this universe, but it's in a different world. So we're going to have to wait and see. They're also talking about Teen Titans. They're also talking about Robin. So we're going to have to wait. I think this movie is going to make record numbers, and it's going to propel the DC universe to a stratosphere similar to what Marvel was in the beginning of Marvel. Okay, and I think this is great for us as comic book fans. I don't know if this is going to be great for Marvel. They're going to have to hit it out the park with Captain America: Brave and the Bold. That's going to be the first movie next year. And Thunderbolts, they're trying to introduce Thunderbolts. They're going to have to hit it out of the park with these two. Daredevil, the new Daredevil that's going to be on Disney Plus. I think that's a huge plus. I think they're going to hit it with these movies and TV shows, but they're not going to hit it out the park like Superman. I think Superman's going to be a standalone. He has no competition for Marvel or no competition for and like I said, unless there's a sequel this summer that we don't know about that's going to be introduced this during the Super Bowl, like a Will Smith project or whatever. If Superman is the only big thing this summer, everyone's going to gravitate to that. Okay, so yeah, I think it's going to be a huge hit. So and I'm not waiting to see. I know it's going to be a hit. So guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.